The title of my message is God is Stretching Me While in the Waiting Room. Now, I want to begin with two powerful quotes. And I'm a visual learner. I don't know about you. So if I had an easel and I was here and I was to dab a color of this and dab a color of that as I lay out my paint, or if I was in the kitchen preparing a meal, I would have all my ingredients laid out and have the skillet on the stove and prepare this meal. So as I move a little closer, I want to bring in the magnifying glass and come in a little further. So this quote that I began with says, I am not what happens to me, I am what I choose to become. The other quote is, in order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experience that shaped you. So we know that God is the potter and we are the clay. In the waiting room of life, we must stretch and grow. We must come out of our comfort zones. In the waiting room of life, we must grow and stretch. Now, I want to tell you about the waiting room before I prepare you for my text. Pay very close attention as I dab a little more color and make this portrait just a little bit clearer for you. In room 1 takes place in our mother's womb. In the first trimester, the development of the embryo takes place. The heart, the lungs begin to form. A relationship is being established between a mother and a child. Reflective of the relationship we form with God. Now, Matthew 19 and 14 tells us, but Jesus said, suffer the little children, forbid them not to come unto me, for such as the kingdom of heaven. In room 2, around the 2nd month of pregnancy, the embryo has grown to the size of a kidney bean. In addition, the ankles, the wrists, the fingers, the eyelids, the bones appear, and the genitals and inner ear begin to form. The mother is now doing everything possible to keep herself and the baby comfortable. Now in room 3, for the sake of time, we speed things up a little bit. The baby is finally ready to be given birth to. Some enter screaming, some enter sucking their thumb, and some trying to adjust to this foreign place called life. Okay? Now a room at home has been prepared for the arrival of this baby. Now watch this. Now of all the rooms that you will enter in life, remember the most significant one is your mother's womb. It prepares you for everything you will encounter in life. So in room 4, now watch the development. In this room, the baby has grown from infancy to toddler, from toddler to little boy or little girl, and they're now being taught manners and how to be independent. He or she is consistently stretching and growing and repeating everything that they hear. It can have a brief introduction to God and spirituality. But in this room, the most significant room, because everything you have instilled into your children must come full circle. Manners, friendship, discipline, how to study, being responsible, where will you go to college, how to select the college, will you go to the military, how to start your own business, how to select a job, your soulmate, renting an apartment, or even stepping out and buying a home. So, as I told you about these rooms, I want to dig up the dirt and I want to plant some seeds. The first seed I want to share with you is a seed called faith. Faith. which is complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Trust, believe, a conviction. A strong belief in God or doctrine or based on religion. This can be found in a few scriptures of reference, 31 and 25 of Proverbs, Joshua 1 and 9, Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, Psalms 34 and 5. The next seed that I want to plant is the seed of foundation. Which is bearing a part, the lower part of a building, bearing the part specifically below the ground. The starting point. And you can refer to this in Ephesians 2 and 20, 2 Timothy 2 and 9, and Matthew 7 and 24. But I want to pause here for a moment, because before I go any further, when I get here, I don't want us to be confused. I don't want anybody to have to stumble. So I want to give you my text, and then I'm going to pick back up where I was, okay? Is that all right with you? Okay, so let me give you my scripture for today. It's coming from Isaiah 54. So that's Isaiah 54, 1 to 3, and 7 to 8. And then we have one more after that. If you need me to repeat it, please say so. Repeat it? Okay. So that's Isaiah 54, 1 to 3, and Isaiah 54, 7 through 8. All right? And since I have you there, let's just go ahead and read the word. Okay? And then I need you to go to, after that, Hebrews 6 and 5. Just one verse. Let me know when you're there. We there? Let's stand for the word. Amen. Do you need me to wait? Just indicate that, please. Are we there? Okay. Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Break forth into singing, and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord. Enlarge the place thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtain of thy inhabitation. Spare not, lengthen that cord, and thy stakes. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand, and on the left. Thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Now down to 7, for a small moment I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. Now to Hebrews 6 and 15. Hebrews 6 and 15. We there? Okay. Just this one scripture. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. All right? So I want you to just meditate on that, okay? And while you're meditating on that, you may have your seed. I'm going to plant a few more seeds, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to break that down a little bit further. For those who came to get something today, we're going to go in, okay? Again, don't be stingy with your amens in the hallelujahs. Because I didn't come to have church by myself. So, all right now. reason for which something is done or created, or which something exists, meaning the motive, motivation, the cause, the reason, the point, the basis, the meaning, the aim. Have as one's intention or objective. We can refer to Psalms 57 and 2, 138 and 8, Matthew 5 and 13 through 16, 28 and 19 through 20, Habakkuk 2 and 3. And let's go down to the next C called growth. The process of increasing in a physical size or development or maturation, growing, germination, blooming, something that has grown or is growing. And the scripture reference here for that is Matthew 6 and 28, 2 Thessalonians 1 and 3, 2 Corinthians 10 and 15. And I want to plant another seed called focus, which is to adapt to the prevailing level of life and becoming able to see clearly, paying particular attention. See, because when you're being stretched and you're in the waiting room, you got to pay attention. Because God is doing something. He is applying pressure. And he's expecting something to come out. He's expecting a result. Just like the mother was pregnant and she gave birth. God he's ready to give birth to the promise he made you. But you gotta be willing to stretch and grow. While you're in the waiting room, you can't sit there and have an idle mind. Because we know what happens. The devil does get busy. The waiting room. A room provided for the use of people who are waiting. Whether it be at the doctor's office or dentist, or if you're waiting at the train station. Are you waiting for a job? You're waiting for a phone call? Whatever it is you may be waiting for. So now let's move back here to the word and begin to break it down a little bit more, okay? So I read to you Isaiah 54, 1, 2, 3, and 54, 7 through 8. So basically what's being said is that I deserted you for a brief moment, but I will take you back with passion. In a surge of anger, I hid myself from you. With everlasting love, saith the Lord, your Redeemer. In chapter 54, it's part of the second section of Isaiah, and less to deal with Judah's immediate plight than with the future deliverance of the exile from Babylon. Now, as we look a little bit further here, waiting is essential in our faith, because as weak and limited people, we have the tendency to expect immediate results. Even if we know intellectually something takes time. See, so that's why we got to move away from that microwave. Remember how your mother and your grandmother used to take time on Sunday and they made soul food? See, soul food wasn't just coming to church, but soul food was that special ingredient that you can't buy in the store. It's called LOVE. Because when you cook with love, I don't care how many times somebody's trying to duplicate your recipe. They can't do it unless they walk and cook and operate in love. Yes. All right, so All right, I like it. So even if we know intellectually that something will take a little time, we drift in doubt, okay? And it doesn't work with our schedule. Because see, we on a schedule. We have to be somewhere by a certain time. But guess what? If God calls, will you answer? Or will you let it go to voicemail? Because we're so busy. What are we busy doing? What are we doing? Do we have time for him? Because guess what? In 2018, he's still dealing with signs and wonders. Yes. Are you paying attention? Because I love sunrises and sunsets. I watch them regularly. My sister can tell you, she knows. Okay? There's something special about that. Because you know what? That's when God is moving. That's when his greatest blessings are being performed. Because you know what? He wants us to stop and smell the roses. Appreciate all the wonderment that he has created. You know? Like Pastor talked about this morning, it's not about all the materialism, and he talked about how we carry this money. In order to say, in God we trust. But my question is, how many people are walking around with God's money and don't even know nor have a relationship? How about that? Yes. So the worst of the human flaw is despair. To assume since a promise has not yet been fulfilled, that there's probably no promise in it in the first place. Right. But see, now the book of Hebrews was written to persecute the Jewish Christians. They faced pressure to abandon the promise of Christian faith. For this, especially, the dangerous doubt and spiritual immaturity took a risk of them falling away. A major component in solving problems, according to the writer's purpose, in which is approaching the truth of love. This is required. So we need to have confidence and a personal relationship as to seeking the truth with God. Amen. So I talked about the book of Isaiah. Let me tell you a little bit about who Isaiah was. Isaiah was a Hebrew prophet who was believed to have been born about 1,700 years before Jesus Christ in Jerusalem. He was said to have found his calling when he saw a vision in King Uriah's death. He prophesied of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, coming. But now Israel is encouraged to burst forth because the punishment is now over. So as we're talking about giving birth and about a marriage, the Lord now is a loving husband who is ready to take back his wayward bride and shower her with blessings. This is necessary because of her grievous sin. But it was only a temporary banishment. Just like the covenant with Noah, God honors his covenants. He will honor his covenant of peace with Israel and to wait the fulfillment of the Mosaic kingdom. Now, the theme of a faithful wife is echoed many times. It's echoed again in Isaiah 50, 1-3, 62 and 4, Jeremiah 3 and 8, in Ezekiel 16 and 23. Now, the singing and the shouting was meant for the spiritual children that would come forth, who would be given birth to by the spreading of God's word. And in increasing their tents, God has a change, and it's going to continue to come. But the church must be willing to stretch her norms. The church must be willing to stretch her norms. Because you know what happens? When you fail to stretch, you paralyze yourself. Mentally and psychologically, what's happening is you cripple yourself. You tell yourself you can't do something because you convince yourself. But I tell you what, like a rubber band, our personalities and our gifts are like a blueprint with God. We will not realize our greatest potential until we stretch and extend. Because guess what? When the rent can't be paid, when Con Edison is sending that cutoff notice, when you don't have the money for that cell phone bill, you don't have the money for car insurance, cable, down to your last meal, guess what? You better stretch it while you're in the waiting room of life. See, because stretching and growing is about going higher. Because patience is more than endurance. And listen to this. A saint is like, in the life of God's hands, like a bow and arrow. And like an archer, God is aiming for something that the saint cannot see. And just when the saint thinks, I can't stand no more, God continues to apply pressure. And just at the right time, he lets it fly. He lets it fly. Because he wants you to grow and stretch in your faith. To trust him like no other. Not like your money or the love of your money, but trust him. I want to tell you about 10 affirmations of what you can do while you're in the waiting room by Jessica Cooper. First, I want you to trust. Things are going to work out. Have you ever looked at a tree in the wintertime? And the tree doesn't look beautiful. But I want you to know, in the springtime, baby, it's so beautiful. Oh my God. Fruit everywhere. Green as green can be. And then, number 2, change your plan. You know, sometimes we keep repeating the same old thing and wondering why is it working out? You know, the United Negro College Fund slogan says, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. So, if you're doing the same old thing over and over, somebody's elevator ain't going to the top floor. I'm just saying. I'm not here to judge, but I'm just saying. All right, now, number 3 is meditate. I know it seems super spiritual, but it is here at this time when you relax that you can connect to God. It is in that prayer closet, that special place, that things begin to happen. That you take off these worldly concerns. You drop the weight on your shoulders, and you become a little lighter. I think it's like fire shut up in your bones. All right now, I heard you. Number 5 is be positive. So when you go to work sometimes, you know, you might have to be in a position where you might have to greet people. You might have to make the coffee. or meet the people at the copying machine. And you might be going through something, but you got to hold that smile on your face. And you know what? If you convince yourself that I'm not how I feel or what I'm going through, but late in the midnight hour, God has already worked it out. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So number 6 is stop focusing on your stressors instead of your blessing. Because guess what? Whatever you're going through, God has equipped you. But guess what? Here's the thing. If you've ever traveled somewhere and you didn't know where you were going, thank God for GPS. See, God is the creator of GPS. Make no mistake. Yes, ma'am. So, live in the here and the now. No matter how much you think about your dreams and how hard it's going to be, until you're willing to go through something and roll up your sleeves and dig in the dirt, are you going to earn that dream by the sweat of your brow? Because if somebody gives it to you, it's not worth it. Because it just looks too good to be true. I hear you. So, number 8 is just go with it. You might be planning a picnic in the park, but this particular day it begins to rain. And now you're discouraged with having the picnic. But you don't know what God is doing. Sometimes he has to purge. And sometimes, like Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, there's a time and a season for every purpose under the heavens and the earth. Sometimes we got to go out in the rain and just dance. Okay? Just dance. Have faith. Have faith is number 9. Because although the road may seem crummy right now, and you may not be able to see clearly down the road, little steps are better than big steps. When the movement is significant. And then I want to say here, turn your mess into a message. And that's why I'm standing here today. Because let me say this to you. I don't look like what I've been through. But I want to be a little personal right now. I've been church hurt before. But I heard Stephanie Mills say, when I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. Thank you, Ebenezer Baptist Church, because I'm home now. I don't have to worry about because all my wounds are healed. And I'm standing here sharing and breaking bread with you today. Well, have you ever been discriminated against? Well, I have. And it wasn't a pretty picture. Have you ever lost your apartment? Well, I have. Have you ever had to go without a source of income? Well, I have. And today, because God is who he is in my life, I know that my mess is my message. So, I'm being stretched and growing in the waiting room. God has already gone before me to work it out. Stretching me and encouraging me, shaping me, molding me, making me better than I was before the experience. And while you're going through it, you may not understand. and sketch. And sketch. And then the ideal opportunity came. And I met my partner who does the sewing and I do the design. And I will tell you, October will be the launch of my clothing line. To all that you see. But you know, I want to tell you what the Beatitudes tell me. Matthew 5:3 say, blessed are the pure in spirit. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Yes, blessed are those who, because they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure at heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Hallelujah. I want to say this. My pastor taught on these three subjects. He's taught on many subjects, but I just want to highlight these three. Because see, when you're being stretched and you're growing and you're in that waiting room, here's what you got to do. You got to have the end of me. Because it's all about God. It's all about God. And then you got to know if you are a fan or a follower. Yes. And then it's all right if everybody don't know and put a spotlight on you when you're an unsung hero. Okay? But I hear in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, if he was here today, he would say these 10 things. Believe in yourself. Be fearless. Keep moving. Follow your morals. Act now. Be determined to achieve excellence. Stay true to purpose and principles. Stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Have a dream. And then I want to come down to a motivational speaker I like to follow sometimes. Her name is Lisa Nichols. And she says 10 things. And then I'm going to bring this to a close. So if you hear something that hits you, if you hear something that you know is an indication of you being stretched while you're in the waiting room, just wave your hand, say hallelujah, amen. So what Lisa shares is this. You are your own rescue. Because you have to realize something is wrong, that you need to make a change, that you need to believe in the unseen. Because the word of God says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The reason why we cannot see it is because God is working in the spiritual. Because if we believe everything we see, we would lose our mind. Use affirmation. Create holistic success. Do something different. Stop asking for permission. Disrupt the soil. Uproot some of the things you've been taught. Unpack your story. Share it like I did this afternoon. Because God is who God is. And when He has given you a purpose, can't nobody stand it. I don't care how many obstacles before you. Dream big. Dream big. Dream big. And then I want to say this before I bring this to a close. Here's a philosophy to incorporate. 10 10 things to get people to respect you immediately. Are you ready? Yeah. Be the last to speak. Yeah. Being able to laugh at yourself. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Say what you mean. Mean what you say. See the good in everyone. Always strive to do better. Help others when they need it, and admit you need help when you need it. Because when you have to stay motivated, take it one day at a time. Surround yourself with positive people. Amen. Make smart goals. Reward yourself along the way. Believe in yourself. Acknowledge your positive attributes. Recognize your progress. Visualize your accomplishments. Be kind to yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. And then finally, before I close, I want to say this. When God is stretching us, when God is stretching us, it is so we can hold more of his power. When God is stretching us, it is so we can obtain and hold more of his wisdom. I said when God is stretching us, it's to develop more character. I said when God is stretching us, he wants to influence, he wants to increase our influence and enlarge our territory. I said when God is stretching us, it may not feel good, but just like medicine going down, he knows what's good for us. When God is stretching us, he wants to teach us obedience. I said when God is stretching us, he wants to take us to another level. Is there anybody here today that wants to go to another level? While you are being stretched in the waiting room of life. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I said, is there anybody? Is there somebody that came to be stretched to get hard? Is there somebody that God is trying to use today? Might it be you or you, but I know we're all being stretched. Because guess what? It's a dying world outside that door. And when you go out there, you better know what you know, what you know, what you know. You better know who you are and who is in control. Because God is in control. Trump might think he's in control, but God is in control. Hello? 45, you're not in control. You're going to be used without your own permission. But guess what? So I'm just blessed that you were able to spend this afternoon with me. I hope that I shared something that was meaningful to you, that you were able to marinate on that. You know, I just again want to thank my pastor for this opportunity. Thank my church and my family. I want to thank you and you for not counting it robbery to see how God is using me and that my living is not in vain. That if I can help somebody, if I can make a difference along this journey, from sunrise to sunset, between my dash, from beginning to end, then this living has not been in vain. So I thank you once again. God bless you.